So today I'm gonna do this project here on Buildspace, building Solana app. I still have to do, I think, 2 courses on ZTM about interviews, coding interviews, and yeah, I think I'm gonna do this project. After I'm done with this project, I'm gonna probably work on my portfolio, fix some things, and then after that, I'm probably gonna do coding challenges on Hacker Rank. So, okay, welcome, you've made it. Oh yeah, welcome, my name is Farza, and I'm just the guy who will be chatting with y'all here. So for devs that want to get into Solana, biggest blockchain in the world, all we really need to know going into this is some terminal skills, some JavaScript, and some React.js. You'll pick up the rest along the way. No rest knowledge required. Few actions items before moving on. So my main interest in doing this is both to put this on my resume, not my resume, my portfolio, and to learn Rust more. Because I did the course on ZTM about Rust, and it seems like a very good language to learn, and a lot of protocols on blockchain use Rust, so that's why I'm doing this. Connect to our Discord in the project, dashboard, all the good stuff is happening in the secret category in the Discord that you only have access to once you connect to your Discord. Connect your Ethereum wallet in the project dashboard. We will airdrop you an NFT once you finish this. Okay, be sure to attend the live kickoff. So I'm not really sure. I think I made a MetaMask just for this. We plan to do NFTs on Solana, but for now our whole system is built on Ethereum Polygon, so that's where we'll send the NFTs. Let me increase the volume here. Oops.
To the Solana project. I kind of just want to go through the project really quickly here to show you what you'll be working on. So check this out. This is a website I made called Farza's Anime Wall. And of course, your website will be very different from mine, of course. This is just what I chose to build. I chose to build a wall of GIFs where anybody could connect their wallet and submit a GIF from their favorite anime. And that's it. So check this out. I'm going to connect to wallet here, and it's going to pop up Phantom. And Phantom is like probably the world's most popular Solana wallet. And it makes it really easy for our web app to securely get our wallet's credentials, our Solana wallet's credentials. Because technically we need to connect our wallet. How do you connect your wallet? Well, Phantom helps us do that. So I'm going to click connect here, and Phantom helps make sure that this web app can only do certain things. So in this case, view my activity and request approval for transactions. I'm going to click connect here. And check this out. There's already a bunch of GIF data here. We have all the greats: Naruto, Death Note, Haikyuu, One Piece, etc. So what's really cool here is now technically anybody could come to my website.
I don't know what's up with blockchain, people that are into blockchain and anime. It seems like there are a lot of people in crypto space have these images of animes on their profile. And now I'm not really sure if I have to use Phantom to build stuff on this, or if I can use MetaMask. So if I have to use Phantom, I'm not sure. See, I guess, if it's really necessary. If it is, I'm obviously gonna do a Phantom wallet. But hopefully it's not.
The wall. So for example, let's just say my friend comes to my website and he really likes Dragon Ball Z. Awesome. He wants to submit a Dragon Ball Z GIF. All we will do is take the link to the GIF, click submit, and then Phantom will pop here. And Phantom will ask us to actually provide a fee. If you're familiar with Ethereum, this is very similar to a gas fee, but Solana is very, very cheap compared to other networks. So check this out. I'm gonna click approve, and boom, it's right there. It takes like 1 or 2 seconds, and the data is already just right there. So what's very, very interesting about this is that I can refresh the page now, and the data persists. It's still there. I want to make it very clear here. There is no database. There is no API. There is no backend. All we're doing is we're reading from the Solana blockchain and we're writing to the Solana blockchain. And that's pretty awesome. Now, you can kind of make your project whatever you want. I chose a place where people can like submit GIFs from their favorite animes. But you can do whatever you want. Maybe you want to make like a version of, I don't know, like Twitter, where anybody can come into this website, connect their wallet, and create a tweet, right? Solana is really cool because it is extremely cheap in terms of gas fees. So it's very, very cheap to do a transaction. And it's also very, very fast, right? So you saw how fast I submitted that GIF right there. And also, you can also see how fast I can read data as well, right? So all in all, I'm pretty excited about Solana. And I hope by the end you can kind of get an idea of why this thing is so powerful. It's I think the only hard part about Solana is getting it set up. But once you get it set up, it's pretty straightforward. Anyways, excited to see what y'all come up with, and catch you around.
I think I forgot you. I don't know. When you reach the end of this project, you will be able to earn an NFT or drop. Okay. GM. That's also not another thing that I've seen. A lot of people with this GM stuff. I think it's good morning. I'm not sure why exactly. Or where does this come from? Because it doesn't used to be a thing. It didn't used to be a thing. We're going to spend a ton of time diving into Solana this project, and you'll have plenty of time to learn about what the heck Solana is by actually building on it. Don't worry, we got a bunch of stuff like how Solana has low gas fees and how it's really fast. To spend through the last thing I want. Okay, programs. Write Solana programs. Note this is sorta like a smart contract if you know about Ethereum. A Solana program is just a piece of code that lives on the blockchain. Blockchain is a place where anyone can run code for a fee. You can think of blockchain like AWS or Heroku, but instead of being run by a big corporation, these chains are run by miners. Call them validators. Accounts on Solana programs are stateless. This is very different from Ethereum. On Ethereum, you write smart contracts, and contracts actually maintain states where you can actually store data on variables that are directly on the contracts. On Solana, how it works is users have accounts, and Solana programs can interact with accounts users own. One user can own thousands of accounts. The easiest way to think of an account is sort of like a file. You just have many different files. Developers can write programs that can talk to these files. The program itself doesn't hold a user's data. The program just talks to accounts that hold the user's data. It's pretty much all the theory really needs to go over right now. Don't worry. Okay, should I use Solana or Ethereum? This is a tough question. It also may be the wrong question. For example, today we don't really talk about which backend server language is the best. We just pick the one, well, I guess people do talk about this. We just pick the one we are most comfortable with or the one that makes the most sense given our use case. If speed is your goal, writing your backend in Go may make sense. If you just want to get something off the ground, something like Node or Ruby might be better. This is pretty much how we should look at different blockchains. Each one has its own pros and cons, and you should just pick the one that fits your use case or comfort level. Solana is known as the super fast low gas fee blockchain, and this project will mess with it so you can get a feel for how you like it, form your own opinion. Cross-chain future. Every blockchain has its own pros and cons. I don't think any of the big blockchains are the best. And you don't need to have just one to be the best. Competition is good. Okay. These are just personal take, blah blah blah. Bridges that let different chains talk to each other. That means you can deploy your program on Solana and have it communicate with a contract on a different blockchain, like Ethereum with Avalanche, Polygon, etc. For example, you could buy an NFT on Ethereum and then move it to Solana if you wanted. Or maybe you could have a bridge that lets you easily move tokens from the Solana chain to the Ethereum. And so far, that's the stuff that I have the most trouble with understanding when it comes to the decentralized exchanges is how does tokens from one protocol become tokens from the other protocol. And I've read some stuff that says that is through abstractions of tokens on each chain. You have kind of like a fake token that represents the token on the other exchange, but I don't really know exactly how it works and what are the agreements that people have, or if their agreements are necessary or depends on each case. Oh, it'd suck if easy if you just had like 100 plus different chains and none of them could talk to each other. Then each chain becomes a walled garden where data transfer between chains is near impossible. You just lose the freedom of choice. Bridges are becoming more popular. For free to read this post whenever, but for now let's get building. Next. What about Solana has you curious? Learning Rust. I think that's what I need to submit here. Before I begin, please watch this very important video. Be sure to unmute it by hovering over it. Okay, once that's out of the way, okay, so there isn't any video here. Maybe it's this one. Let's move on. We're going to kick things off with one of the most magical things about Web3, connecting to a product with your wallet. We allow our users to essentially off with their Solana wallet. Building off is usually pretty hard. You need to have a database of username, passwords, etc. In this case, it's a lot easier than you may think. Here's the plan. Get the base web app code for this project. I provided some started HTML, CSS so you can focus on the things that really matter. Write the code that will allow users to connect their Solana wallet and connect to your app to set up a beta off state. Hop into writing your first Solana program with Rust, plus apply to the actual blockchain. It's going to be pretty hype. One thing we really love at Buildspace is the insane creativity people put into their projects. Make this project your own and do things however you see fit. If all you're doing is copy pasting, then this won't be that fun. The base web app code I provide is just to get you started. Change things up, maybe hey, the colors they use, change it. Maybe you want to make this it, okay? Got it. I'm going to be using React.js. Having experience with React, check out the series. And in this code, we'll be using this thing called Replit. It is a browser-based IDE that lets us easily build web apps and deploy them all from the browser. It's super legit. Instead of having to set up the full local environment and write commands to deploy, it's all just given to us. Okay, that's not good. Because I want to learn how to do the whole thing. You don't have to use Replit to build plus deploy your site. If you want to work locally on VS Code, use Vercel, Heroku, AWS to deploy, and are confident in your web dev skills, that's sort of cool. Here's a link to the base repo you can clone and work on locally. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that. I think first I need your git init if I'm gonna clone. Maybe it's better to fork this as well. There's just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript here. I think what forking does is creates a copy of that repo into my own profile. And now I can clone it. So open the terminal, git init, git clone. Yeah, I think that's it. To clone. Then I have to cd into this. And then git gif. And then npm start, npm install, npm run start. I'll keep reading while this downloads the things. If we decide to go for Applet, make an account with them before moving on. I've already created a basic React project that you can fork on Applet. Just click here and near the right you'll see fork button. Magically clone my repo and full IDE in your browser to work with the code. Once it stops loading and shows you some code, click run at the top and you're good to go. Please note, as you go through this project, you may notice that we are referencing .js files. In Replit, if you're creating any new JavaScript files, you need to use the .jsx extension instead. Replit has some performance fences that requires you use the .jsx file extension.
Hey everyone, so I just wanted to quickly show you some tricks with Replit. So when you first, the link I gave you is essentially the link to my Replit, and you can actually fork it by clicking this button up here, and that'll actually create a version of my repo in your account. And I just give you all some basic boilerplate React code, so we don't have to deal with any of that nonsense. But when you click fork, it takes you to a page that looks sort of like this. It's gonna take a little while to start up, maybe like 2 minutes. And then after it actually like creates your project, you want to click run at the top. So I'm gonna stop this. You want to click run here when you're ready to go. And this can take some time. I think for me, it took like a solid like 2 or 3 minutes. It's actually just, I promise it doesn't take this long every time you make a change to your project. But the first time you start your project, it does take some time. So you can see here, it was starting my development server. It was pretty fast here, but usually it takes like, the first time it takes like a solid couple minutes. So just a quick few settings here. I really like dark mode on Replit. So you can do whatever you want. You can do light mode. You can do dark mode. I also really like this thing, layout, side by side. I think by default it's stacked, which I think is pretty ugly. But I like side by side. And then let's just say we want to like start working on this code here, right? This is our website. We can actually go to src, go to app.js, and we can do whatever we want here. We can just be like, instead of saying hey there, we can say on my own page here. You develop on here, right? Here as well.
So I already used Replit on free code camp stuff, so I know how it works.
I wrote my code here.
Yeah, but since I'm not gonna be using it anyway, doesn't really matter this video for me. So I have to. I think he doesn't talk about anything specifically here. If I get a mistake, I'll probably have to figure out on my own. So I'm just gonna print the folder structure. I think what they want is for you to print the project after you start running it. But I just wanna print this so I can move on while the things download. I think I'm gonna put maybe sol one is better. It's easier to write. Okay, looks like everything installed. Let me run the npm run start. So when you do this, you run this script here that is on the package.json file. And it looks like it's gonna run React scripts start, which is probably gonna start the React project, hopefully. Hopefully it works and doesn't break anything. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to spend time fixing it. I'm trying to make this really fast, just so the whole point for me is just so I get more comfortable with Rust after doing the course. I did the course, I think, did the course one time for full, but I didn't follow along with the projects because I wanted to do all the other courses. So I did it another time doing the projects, but I stopped in the middle. And I think this is gonna be a good initial project to get more comfortable, and then later on I plan on doing more advanced projects. Okay, nice. So it worked fine. Localhost 3000. And this is the stuff that they pre-built on React. So let me keep going. Did it submit? Probably not. Next lesson. I wonder if I can submit again. Probably not. Maybe I should have printed the project since I already had it anyway. But whatever. Installing Phantom wallet extension. For this project, we're going to be using a wallet called Phantom. This is one of the top wallet extensions for Solana and is actually backed by Solana as well. Before I dive into any code, make sure you have downloaded the extension and set up a Solana wallet. Currently, Phantom wallet supports Chrome, Brave, Firefox, and Edge. But as a note, we only tested this code on Brave and Chrome. Okay, so looks like I'm gonna have to do this. So I probably can't do the stuff testing without the wallet. I'll just create an whatever wallet and probably not gonna use it anyway. The issue is if I have to download on mobile. It doesn't look like it's working. Yeah, so I have to choose mobile probably. I'm gonna keep going, see if I can do it without the wallet, or yeah, I'll think about what I'm gonna do. Using the Solana object, in order for our website to talk to our Solana program, we need to somehow connect our wallet, which is the Phantom wallet extension to it. Once we connect our wallet to our website will have permission to run functions from our program on our behalf. If users don't connect their wallet, they simply can't communicate with the Solana blockchain. Remember, it's just like authenticating into a website. If you aren't logged into Gmail, then you can't use their email. Head over to your code and go to app.js. So here, app.js. And the source is where, okay, if you have the Phantom wallet extension installed, it will automatically inject special object named Solana into your window. I guess I'll leave this stuff here. This means before we do anything, we need to check to see if this exists. If it doesn't exist, let's tell our user to go download it. Also, I have to and do this other stuff here. So import React, use effects. Oh, I guess I have a shortcut for that. I think it's EMD. An extension I got from another course that I did. Use effects, and I think it's a React extension. Don't remember. It's obviously a React extension, but I don't remember really well I don't remember the name of the extension. Okay, so usually you use effect for asynchronous events. That's what I've seen so far the most. Yeah, so they do the function here, and then they call the function here. So const check if wallet is connected. Try. So it makes the Solana the window object. If Solana that is phantom console.log phantom wallets found. Sometimes this GitHub Copilot thing can be annoying, to be honest. Else alert Solana object not found. Phantom wallet. And I think I'm gonna copy this here. And then catch error also the log error, also the error. And then inside the use effect, they create another function, async function, and run the other function from here. We check if wallet connected. In the dot add event listener, load, unload. So as far as I understand, every time there's a change on the, oh, in here I forgot to put this, and you have to put the thing here. Every time there is a change to a component on the page, the use effect runs, and then you have to put this callback, otherwise you create an infinite loop, because React renders everything every time that it runs the code. So if you don't have this, the use effect makes the changes, which makes these load, which makes the use effect run and creates an infinite loop. And if you put this, it stops that from happening, because it only runs the code once you have changes to this thing here, which is an empty array. But if you want to specify a component, you can just put inside this array here, as far as I understand. So I think that's it for now. Maybe I should put the comments as well. When our components first mounts, let's check to see have connected. Oh, this is here. Phantom wallet. Maybe I should do the Git stuff as well to update these changes on the repository that I've forked. Not too bad, right? Let's break this down a bit. Okay, I don't think I need to read this stuff because they're gonna talk about what I just explained. Maybe this part here. All we need to do is add one more line to our check if wallet connected function. Check out the code below. So the new thing is response, I think. The Solana object gives, I think I'm gonna copy this. Solana object gives us a function that will allow us to connect. I'm more curious about the Rust parts and how they're gonna use it. Await Solana.connect only if trusted. True. Connected with public key. I think that's it. Next, we need to actually check if we are authorized to actually access the user's wallet. Once we have access to this, we can start getting access to the functions in our Solana program. Basically, Phantom Wallet doesn't just give our wallet credentials to our website we go to. It only gives it to websites we authorize. Again, it's just like logging. But what we're doing here is checking if we're logged in. All we need to do is add one more line to our check if wallet is connected function. Check out the code below. So it does just this Solana connect, which is the window object. I don't really understand though, how does the window object has these functions? By default. Doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I forgot to import React here, I think. Yeah. Okay. Thank God I look at that. So I think I stopped here. It's as simple as calling connect, which tells Phantom Wallet that our gift portal is authorized to access information about the wallet. Some of you may be asking what is only if trust property is. If a user has already connected their wallet with your app, this flag will immediately pull their data without prompting them with another connect pop-up. Curious to know more, take a look at this doc from Phantom. I don't think I will need to download the wallet to do this project. After a web application connects to Phantom for the first time, it becomes trusted. Once trusted, it's possible for the application to automatically connect to Phantom on subsequent visits or page refreshes. This is often referred to as eagerly connecting. To implement this, Phantom allows an only if trusted option to be passed into the connect call. Yeah, so it checks every time. If it's connected, then there's no checks. I think I understand. Heck yeah, that's it. At this point, you should still only be seeing the phantom wallet found log statement. Why is that? Well, the connect method will only run if the user has already authorized a connection to your app, which they've never done so far. So let's actually initialize this connection. When they connect to wallet button. Right, we are already checking to see if a user is already connected to your app or not. What if they aren't connected? Have no way in our app to prompt Phantom Wallet to connect to your app. We need to create connect wallet button in the world of Web3. Connecting your wallet is literally a sign up login button built into one for your user. Easy sign up experience of your life. It's a lot easier to do authentication and this sign up on Web3. Because on Web2 you have to go through all the process of building the backend and storing users on the database. But Web3 you just put this button. So I guess it comes after this. Inside of check if wallet is connected. No, outside. So here. Const connect wallet. Let's define this method so our code doesn't break. We will write the logic for this next. We want to render this UI when the user hasn't connected their wallet to our app yet. So on click is gonna run the button, run the function. Connect to wallet. And then I guess it's gonna be here somewhere. Yeah, here. Right below this thing here. And there are connect to wallet button right here. So this is gonna call the function that calls the other function. I'm gonna call this that calls this on click. It's gonna render the button and then the button is gonna activate the function with the on click. Next you should now have a cool looking gradient button that says connect your wallet render on your page. I think I closed the window. The biggest thing to understand here are render methods. I think I'm gonna close this server and I'll look at it later, probably. It might be a good idea to look at it now. Doesn't cost anything. So. The biggest thing to understand here are render methods. Note if you're already familiar with React and render methods, feel free to blast through this section. These are just functions that return some UI code, connect to online great point. Because it's gonna use state. I'm already familiar with this. So now that we already should hold some state, let's update a few things in our code here. Okay, so nice. Apparently it's working. So I think I need to have the wallet show, so the button shows up. So it's running this function here. Check if wallet is connected. Then it's trying this stuff and it's giving me this alert here. So maybe I did something wrong because it is supposed to load the button there. Should be below this thing here. But maybe it doesn't render the button depending on the use effect. Yeah, but this is outside of this function. So what am I missing here? Oh, it's probably because I don't have this. So maybe, I wonder if I can put empty string here. I want to try to see, well, but yeah, this function doesn't have anything. That's the thing. It should be rendering anyway. Don't understand what's going on here. And the issue with this is that I would have to, maybe if I comment this stuff out, I can see if it changes anything. What's wrong with this? Oh, it's probably because I have the comments there. So I'll comment the use effect out. Let me see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't change anything. So I think it should be showing this either way. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, now it shows the alerts. So what's wrong here? Oh, maybe if I inspect this, I can see something. I guess the other thing I can try is removing the function. Removing the zone click here. No, Ctrl C first. See if anything changes. Probably not, but yeah. So it has to be here the mistake. I don't think is that I should be using use state because the way that they did there, it works. It's supposed to work without using use state. So I'm not sure what's going on. Let me just copy paste this here and see what happens. Yeah, now it shows up. So it's the way that I'm calling the function. I suspect I'm probably gonna have to use state there to make it work. But it's weird that in the case here that it's working for them. The biggest thing to understand here are render methods. Let me see if I did the way that they say I'm supposed to do. So const connect wallet, async. Oh, I didn't put this, but it's probably not gonna make any difference. We went to render this UI when the user hasn't connected their wallet to our app yet. So button, CTA button, connect wallet. I think the class it's fine because here is the problem. I'm not using parentheses. That's why. Because then I have to return. So the way that I was doing before, I think I need to do like this. Return and then this. Yeah. And this should work as well, I think, probably. Yeah, nice. There we go. But I think I'm gonna do the same way they did it there. Just to just so it's the same way. Yes, now it works. But when I click, nothing happens because I don't have anything on the function. How does our app control when to render or not render this button? With point, we're going to need to use person's wallet to interact with our program layer down the line. So why don't we store this wallet data in some React state? Then we could also use that as the flag to determine if we should show or hide the button. First, you need to import use state. That's gonna be here. Oh, it doesn't matter actually. Just gonna leave it like this. Then I put this here. Very nice. So now that we are ready to hold some state, let's update a few things in our code here. This is probably gonna be on the bottom. Yeah, this. So it's making a condition, so both of them have to be true. So if it doesn't the window doesn't have a wallet address, then the function doesn't render the button. I think that's what they're doing. And then this wallet address is controlled by the state. You'll probably later on use the set wallet address in here, check if wallet is connected, I guess. Look at all this fancy React. Hi, let's just go over the changes really quick. Oh, they already put it here. I didn't see it. So it's going after this. And this is going to change the state of the... It's going to change the value of the wallet address. So initially it's set to no. And then when this runs, it sets the value of the wallet address to this. And because it's no initially, then the component is not going to render, but after you connect the wallet, it's going to be that value. So the function is going to render the button. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. We're just connecting. Okay. It's pretty cool. Conditional rendering. Or actually connect your wallet. One function is set up but didn't do any logic. So this is the logic for the other function, the connect wallet. So again, it creates the window object as Solana, checks to see if it has the window object, then makes the response equals solana.connect. And then displays this console log. And makes the wallet address equal to the string representation of the key, the wallet key. Call the connect function on the Solana object to handle all the fanciness of authorizing our GIF portal. Okay. Once you press connect, your button should disappear. Just connect to the Solana wallet to your app. Now if we refresh the page, your check if wallet is connected function will get called and your button should disappear almost immediately. You have your basic UI set up and can easily off a user with their Solana wallet. Next, we're going to get all set up with the functions we need to call our Solana program, plus get some data going. Our web app is kind of boring. Let's change that. In your front-end settings, which you can get by clicking the gear near the bottom right, you'll see a trusted apps section. Here you'll see your output, your all, progress parts, post a screenshot of your console. So let me read this to see if I need to do anything here. I'm not gonna do this part here. I'm just gonna take the picture of the site because I don't wanna bother doing the wallet. It's just gonna take a lot more time than I have to do this. I think what they want me to do is take a screenshot of the console log here, of the page, after connecting the wallet. Use states is defined but never used. No use where. Okay, so now I think it works. It's because I didn't save the changes there. And I'm just gonna take the picture of this. To post it there. Next lesson. We're moving right along. Explain data, test data. To start us off, we should talk about when our grid of gifs should be rendered. If you think about it, the grid will be rendered. Think about it, the only time our GIF grid will be rendered is when the user has connected plus authorized their wallet to our app. Pretty straightforward. At the top of your file app.js, go ahead and create a property called taskGIFs. I think I want to move faster to this. Oh. So here, this is your time to have some fun and as many GIFs, blah blah blah. Change your website's title and description to match the type of GIFs you want people to submit. So where does this go? I think it's on the top of the page. It has to be after it connects the wallet though. So maybe it's inside the function. Yeah. More changes actually make your site. Nice, we have some spicy gifts. So how are we going to actually display this data? Remember when we wrote that render not connect function? Yeah, it makes sense to do that because you only want to display it after you connect the wallet. And based on this condition here, the function only runs after that. But now they are not showing the button here. Oh, and they're connected, so they created another function to display. And then they're probably gonna put a condition. Yeah, below this one. So here they're making not wallet address, render not connected. And then after it connects, it's another function. It's wallet address when they're connected. Nice, so it seems like it's working here. Except for this test gifs that I'm not using yet. Yeah, and since should be not correct on the dimensions, but so what this is gonna do is whenever the wallet doesn't exist, it's gonna check if wallet doesn't exist, and then it's gonna render this button here. Once that's the case, that is the button that prompts for the connection of the wallet by running this function. That runs this function that connects the wallet. And after the wallet is connected, then it's not going to display this because, oh, I forgot to erase that. Because the wallet exists, so it's going to display this one, which is this render connected, which runs this function here. Oh, but it's using task gifs here. So the warning should probably be gone after I refresh. Yeah, it's gone, but now it doesn't show the gifs because I don't have a wallet connected. So pretty simple so far, I think. Save your files, you can change everything. When you give input. Web is taking form, and we're about 10 minutes away from getting into writing our first Solana program that power our web app here with real data instead of hard-coded test data. Take a moment to look at the magic we've created, this stuff. Let's get started with the input. We only want the input box to be shown when the user asks not their wallet to our app. So that means we want to add this code to our render connect container render method. Render connected. So here. So it's adding a form with on submit event, preventing default, and then rendering this input. So it's basically creating a form to submit GIFs. Enter GIF link. Then has this button on the form. I guess it's gonna use state again, if I had to guess, on the input. And then it does the grid stuff here, which is mapping through the array of GIFs and displaying them through this image here. So it has to integrate this input with the array somehow, through state probably. This part's not that interesting to me. I'm more interested on the Rust stuff. I think it's correct. The main things we added here are an input box and a submit button. You can write this in this input box and click the button or press enter. But you'll notice nothing happens. We still need to write the logic and wire up to the form submit. For this, we're going to use a couple cool new attributes. OnChange is a function that gets fired every time the input box value changes. Again, if we're already a React Pro, yeah, so just like I said, they're gonna use state and handle OnChange this way. Oh, actually, it's the same thing. So it's the same state they're gonna use. No, this is the new one. And then they're gonna make OnChange on the input and add this stuff. So it handles the state. And I guess they're gonna make this set value to add the GIFs to the GIFs array. To append the GIFs to the GIFs array probably. So this is probably inside the render connect. Here. On input change is not defined. I didn't create the function still. And inside of this function is gonna change the you're gonna change the state. So now I'm not sure where should I put this, or if there's anything specific they say to any specific place they say to put this function. I have an arrow here that says okay. Right under your connect wallet function, add this. So after this function. Probably doesn't matter that much, but I wanna follow what they are doing. So this creates the value, pretty much sets the input this variable here using this set input function. The way that use state works so far until I know, it has two values. One is a variable and another is a function. And whatever the function sets the value of the variable, and that's used to control the state of the application. And whatever you put here is the default value of the variable, which is this one. And then they are creating a function that runs whenever the input changes, and based on the value of the input is going to set the value of the variable to the value of the input, which is this input value here. And then they're probably going to append this to the GIF array in order to display that using the other functions. Super simple function will fire off as you type the inputs. And let's wire up the form submit, create a new function under the connect while an action called send GIF. We're software making a sync. Add up. Okay. And simply enough. And this is going to be the function that runs on when you submit the form by clicking the button, probably. Call this method in the onSubmit. So where's the form here? Send GIF. And this calls this function. So if there is an input value, console.log GIF link input value. Empty input, try again. Okay. Connect wallet, fetch the GIF, this from our Solana program. So once wallet is connected. Since we have this test data set up, we can easily simulate this fetch. So it's just plug and play. We're ready to actually call our program. We're doing a lot of setup here, right? Because it will be worth it. Later, you should not worry about this stuff. Solana isn't easy peasy, especially if you're new to Rust. Just better to set up dumb UI stuff now. We're fully focused on our Solana program. So let's start by creating this state property right under our wallet address declaration. So wallet address here, then here. Then we need to go ahead and set up another use effect that will get called when our wallet address state changes. Remember, we only want to fetch our GIF list when a user has connected their wallet to our app. Right under your current use effect, create another use effect. So this is the previous one, and now there's this other one. I think the standard is to use effect whenever you have asynchronous stuff. Or a form button, something like that. And this only changes whenever there's a change on the wallet address. This use effect is gonna run. And this one runs every time which is the function to check if the wallet is connected. If it is, it's not gonna prompt anything. I guess this is called once actually, once the page loads, and then it's not called anymore. And this one's is called every time the wallet address changes, which runs this set GIF list to task GIFs, which is the array done in the beginning there. So it's gonna set this variable to this one. I was saying here as well as fetch logic. So once our test data is set, we want to use it. For this, we're going to add back to render, connect container function, and make a one-line change. So render connect. So it's here, send GIF. So here is gonna be GIF list instead of the other one. So maybe I made a typo here. Yeah. Because it's using use state to control the value of this variable, which is gonna be based on the other one. On the other array they created initially. Now let's add a few lines to send GIF, so when you submit the form, it adds the GIF to GIF list and clears the text field. So send GIF here. So now it's using set the functions to, so the spread operator maintains all the other values that it had before on the array, and then adds the input value to the array, which is the list of GIFs there, the array of GIFs, and then empties the input value field to empty string again. So this is gonna clear the form after you submit. Now, when we change or use effect to fetch the GIF list from our Solana program, we will have it all ready to go to be rendered. This is the base of our web app. It's now time for us to start building things out in our Solana program. We'll come back to React every so often to run some tests and set up the final pieces of our decentralized app. A screenshot of your app GIF grid show. Yeah, so again, I'm not gonna do this because I don't wanna connect the wallet. So I'm getting a warning here that says that the use effect hook is missing the GIF stuff. Has a missing dependency. So this is missing this. So I probably did something wrong here. It should be here because of it is declared globally in the thing. It's not a typo. I don't think I made any mistakes here. So maybe just a weak warning and I should ignore. Or the use state maybe. No, seems to be correct. Maybe I made a mistake on some of the GIF functions. I guess this warning is just because I don't have the wallet connected. But it still doesn't make sense. Not sure if I did anything wrong here. I can't seem to... I can't see any mistakes, though. Or maybe they're gonna talk about this. Yeah, here's gift list. The variable is here. Yeah, I don't understand. If I can't figure it out, I'm just gonna leave it like this and move on. I think the reason why I'm getting this is because the wallet is not connected. But at the same time, I'm not really sure. Because this should have access to this thing here. I think I'm gonna try to take this off here and put inside of this. Yeah, now the warning goes away. But I'm getting another error, uncut reference error. Process is not defined. So okay, the error went away. So I guess it's just because it didn't have access, this effect doesn't have access to this variable if it's outside of the hook. But it's weird that they didn't say anything here. Maybe I missed something because I didn't read everything. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this because it makes sense to me. Might ask questions on the Discord later to see if anyone else had this mistake pop up. So now I'm just gonna take a picture of this and put this picture. Hopefully later on this doesn't come to bite me in the ass. But I don't see any reason why it would. It seems like everything is okay to me. It's that easy now. When we change our user factor fetch the gift list from our Solana program, we will have it all ready to go to be rendered. Okay. Next one. Okay, looks like I'm on section 2 already. And I created a new email to do this. What are we going to do? We have all our web app stuff mostly done, but we're using fake data. We're going to build Solana program that lets us, yeah, this is annoying me that I can't read everything there. That lets users, one, submit gifts to the board to have them saved on the Solana blockchain, retrieve other gifts that have been submitted. Once we do this, we'll deploy our Solana program and hook it up to our web app. Kind of like you deployed an API and then hook it up to your web app. A note on Solana before you hop in. Okay, so to be honest, getting Solana running and working is not easy right now. And no, I don't think so. I think Solana is a really early piece of technology because it's so early, it's changing off so hard. Google question. Okay. Back in 2015, I was really into machine learning. It was still pretty new. In 2015, machine learning docs sucked, and it was hard to just search for an answer to a question myself. Because most of the time I was the first person asking that question. It was up to me, I should actually figure out. Similar spot doesn't expect a super clean developer experience. Yes, blah blah blah. Choose your path. Getting Solana set up all starts with your machine. There are a bunch of gotchas on different OSs. If you're running an Intel macOS machine or Linux machine, feel free to move right on through. If you're running a Windows machine or M1 macOS machine, follow one of the links below. Install Rust. Solana programs are written in Rust. If you don't know Rust, don't worry. As long as you know some other language, you'll pick it up. To install Rust, you can follow the steps. Once you're done, verify by doing this. I already did this, so I'm not gonna do it here. For the other course I installed, just gonna check it out, make sure that I have it. Yeah. Let's make sure Cargo is working as well. Cargo is the Rust package manager. Cargo version. As long as all these commands output a version, then you're going to go. So now I'm not sure if I should. This is the my repo that I forked from them. I think this is the one that I opened there. Setting up Solana on Windows machine. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to our TA Raza. Without Raza, this guide wouldn't have been doable. Once you finish this section, make sure to give some love to Raza in the Discord. This resource will take you through the flow of setting up the Solana environment on your local Windows machine. Big gotcha here is Windows isn't really supported by Anchor at the moment. This means we need to use a platform that is supported. Windows allows for you to boot up a Linux environment first and just like this. There will be a few extra steps to get this all sorted before I actually get started with setting up all the Solana dependencies. Set up WSL. So I think I already have this, which is Windows Subsystem for Linux, but it's really annoying to use it because there are a lot of problems that can come up. I had to do this with the scrapey stuff and Playwright, and I still don't understand really well how it integrates the Linux system in the VS Code. Because from my understanding, it creates a server and it connects the server into your machine, and then you can do that. You can use the Linux stuff through that server. But then the project setup is kind of weird because I'm not sure if I have to do the whole thing based on the Windows, the WSL, or if I can separate and do some part of the code into in the normal way, and then only the Linux part on the Windows subsystem. To get started with WSL, we're going to need to install. Go ahead and open up Command Excel and admin WSL install. Enable. Okay. Installing Node.js. I already have Node.js, I think. Yeah, definitely have Node.js. Now a Linux subsystem available on your machine is actually pretty cool to see how this all works. You should realize these environments are abstracted from your Windows environment, so everything on your Windows machine is not accessible on your Ubuntu instance. Yeah, that's when it gets confusing to set up this stuff. This means we don't have Node.js installed, which is something we will need to set up the rest of our Solana environment. Start by going to your search menu and typing Ubuntu. You should see a shell Ubuntu shell. You should see a shell Ubuntu shell option pop up. Go ahead and click that. So I guess they're talking about here, but I'm not sure if this is the one. No, probably is this one. Now some of you may, to install the WSL, you have to uh, restart your machine. So obviously I'm not gonna do all these steps because I already did this before. But it's not that hard. Make sure you go through these 2 steps to fix that. Verify Linux subsystem feature is enabled. For this, we want to make sure your machine is actually enabled to use WSL. In your search bar, go ahead and type in Windows features. You should see an option that says something along the lines of enabling and disabling Windows features. Go ahead and choose that. You will now need to make sure that the following options are checked. So I think I'm supposed to write this here. No. Maybe in your search bar. So here. Windows features. Should see an option that says something along the lines of enabling and disabling. Go ahead and choose that. You'll now make sure to. Okay. So here you should see Windows subsystem for Linux. So here is checked. So this should are the same actually. And then so this is this one, virtual machine platform. Okay, so it's checked. After I have this all ready to go, restart your machine. I guess this is just the WSL steps. Essentially, some people may not have a feature on their CPU turned on. You're going to make sure it's turned on. You need to enter the BIOS of your machine, auto computers. Okay, I already did this. It's just the WSL snaps. And then the Rust stuff. Solana has a super nice CLI that's going to be helpful later when we want to test the programs we write. Again, the installation steps are pretty straightforward. There are clear steps for getting the Solana CLI installed for Linux. Don't worry about upgrading to the latest version of Solana. Depending on your system, once you install Solana, it may output a message like, please update your path environment variable, and it give you a line to copy and run. Go ahead and press copy, command just our path. Okay. Once we're done, so I guess I have to go here to see the steps. Install Mocha. Search for command prompt into the Windows search bar. Copy and paste the following command. Oops. So guys, it worked. Copy and paste the following command, then press enter to install the latest version of Solana. Copy it. System cannot execute the specified program. Yeah, great. So maybe it's the first one that I had the problem. The Solana install, output, Solana install, Solana. So it looked like it worked here because it says received total 100%. If I try again, it's not gonna work, but so I guess it's trying to run this file here, which should be on this Solana install, TMP, initx. What if I erase the version here? Yeah, I already opened as administrator, so close the command prompt window or open your command prompt window as a normal user. Search for command prompt in the search bar, then left click on the command prompt icon. Okay. Yeah, so probably didn't work. I'm gonna try to open and run the commands again. So I have to run this one. It's weird because it looks like the first one is working. So maybe I should search for the path instead. So it's on C. So it's this executable here. So I guess it's the installation part that is not running. So what if I try to find this path here? Yeah, I'm not sure if there is any other ways to install this. So maybe this is another way. You would rather not use Solana install to manage this install command without the install the binaries. But I guess this is just after this succeeds. I'm gonna try it anyway because don't lose anything by trying. And it's gonna take a while. Download pre-built binaries. If you would rather not use Solana install to manage the install, you can manually install the binaries. If If you're unable to use pre-built binaries or prefer to build it yourself from source, navigate to the link. Source code archive. You can then run the following commands to obtain the same result as with pre-built binaries. Yeah, the issue is if I can't get this one. I think the problem is that it's not downloading correctly. Because I'm getting the executable file, but for some reason it's not working. It says that it's corrupted. Maybe I should delete this and then try again and see if anything changes. Or maybe I should do this from the Ubuntu stuff. That might be the way. But it says on the tutorial that I'm supposed to do it through the command X. So I'll try this again, and then if it doesn't work, I'll try to the I'll try through the Ubuntu stuff. Copy and paste the following commands, then press enter. So installer. It looks like it's working. And if I go to the page, it also doesn't find anything. Okay, download the binaries and extract the archive using zipper similar open command prompt. Issue. Yeah. I'm gonna try this one. So I need to go through the downloads. I think it is one here. CD. So apparently I don't have this folder here. I guess that's the folder. So I think I'm just gonna try the set path stuff. Okay, looks like it worked. I guess that puts this folder into the path, the binary file into the path, the bin folder of this folder. But it doesn't have a bin here. Maybe it's a file instead of a folder. No file as well. What if I try to these scripts? It's better to see if I have it here. Yeah, looks like I don't have it. Scripts cargo install. Okay, so I do have it. It's telling me to run this file. What if I do this? I guess I need to put the dot here at the end. Okay, now it works. Hopefully this is gonna work. I guess the first option is if you want to get it from the terminal. And second option is if you want to download the file with all this stuff. Hopefully. And they both do the same thing. And then for some reason the first option doesn't work. Maybe you need to use the Ubuntu terminal instead? Not sure. Hopefully this works. I don't think I'm gonna spend a lot of time trying to figure this out if it doesn't work because I have a lot of stuff to do. So just follow the project along and see what they do. But yeah. It would obviously be better if it works. Next thing you want to do is run these two commands separately. Solana config set for all localhost. This will output something like this. This means that Solana is set up to talk to our local network. When developing programs, we are going to be working with our local Solana network so we can quickly test stuff on our computer. Last thing to test is we want to make sure we can get a local Solana node running. Basically, remember how we said that the Solana chain is run by validators. Well, we can actually set up a validator on our computer to test our programs with Solana Test Validator. This may take a bit to get started, but once it's going, you should see something like this. We're now running a local validator, pretty cool. I'll go ahead and Control plus C to stop the validator. We're never going to actually use Solana Test Validator manually ourselves again. The workflow we're going to follow will actually automatically run the validator in the background for us. Just wanted to show you it working so we can start getting an idea of how stuff is working magically as we move forward. Testing framework to help us test our Solana programs. The most confusing thing is the Windows subsystem for Linux and how these two environments are integrated in the same project. For example, here I'm not sure if I should run this on the main thing or it's probably the project directory, but it's still not really clear. But I guess what's happening here is that when you download these files and you run this script, it sets up all the Solana stuff in your computer. And then you have to put that on the path so that the Windows operational system knows how to find the executable for the Solana stuff. And after that, you have to configure into the localhost. And sometimes this can happen on blockchain stuff. So maybe I should turn off the Windows Defender. I think as long as you ignore the warnings there. Sometimes blockchain stuff is viewed as a threat on the security. The Windows security stuff. So annoying. I think I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Yeah, so I'm not sure how long this is gonna take. Takes a long time. Probably gonna stop here and come back later. I think I'm halfway through this. No, yeah, there's 4 sections. So I'll be halfway through once I'm done with this one. Okay, looks like it's finished. Hopefully. Let me go here. Export, path. bin. So it's printing the directory, and then again it's gonna set the bin file to the path, I guess. And it doesn't work. So maybe set is the best. Maybe I don't need to do this because I did previously already. Okay, so now maybe it worked. So it didn't work. Or maybe I have to go through this one here and then set it. I'll try export first. Doesn't work. Yeah, so not sure what's going on. It's definitely not working. Maybe if I close and open again. Yeah, there's nothing here. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe if I download the tar.gz instead of the zip. These other ones are for Linux and Apple. The problem is, I think that's the only resource I have to download. I think I'm gonna delete this and then extract again. It's probably not gonna work, but yeah, the issue is if I can't install this, then it might stop me from doing the other. It's definitely gonna stop me from doing the other lessons. Maybe if I try from the terminal this time, it's probably not gonna have any difference. Or I have to CD first. Don't understand why it doesn't run the file. Maybe I should look at the path as well to see what I have there. I think it's the path that is not working. But the thing is, the file is also empty, so I think the installation is not working as well. Otherwise, the file wouldn't be empty. And this looks like it runs, but then, oh, maybe it's because of the Windows Defender stuff. Maybe I should turn this off while it runs. Yeah, but I wonder if it's gonna. It doesn't show here. So maybe I have to turn this off. I'm just gonna leave it off while it downloads this stuff, and then I turn it back on again to see if it helps. I might stop here as well, try to figure this out off stream, then come back and continue. But from what I understand, I need to run this file, and then I need to put the path, to put the binary inside the working directory of this file into the path variables, and then I need to run this. I think this what this is supposed to do is to install the Solana thing. Which then is gonna be viewed as a special keyword on the command prompt. And then after I do all that, I'm gonna be able to do Solana install init, which is gonna install Solana. Another thing I can try is with the Ubuntu terminal as well, if this doesn't work. Installation steps are pretty straightforward. There are clear steps for getting the Solana CLI installed for Linux. About upgrading to the latest version. Depending on your system, once you install Solana, it may output a message. Please update your path environment variable. And it would give you a line to copy and run. Go ahead and copy plus run the command so your path gets set up properly. Once you're done installing, run this to make sure stuff is working. That output a version number, you're good to go. Next thing, you set up the localhost so that Solana knows. This may take a bit to get started, but once it's going, you should see something like this. Build fail, waiting for other jobs to finish. Yeah, so I'm getting issues on the installation for some reason. It's probably not gonna work now. Maybe I should try to see what issue. The problem is that it shows up pretty quick there. Compiling for MSVC, but we couldn't detect an open SSL installation. Install, then you can try the Rust open SSL readme for more information. Compile binaries of open SSL. Okay. I think I'm gonna do this stuff off stream. And I'm probably gonna continue the courses on ZTM, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue doing this today. I'm probably gonna come back tomorrow and try to finish this if I manage to make this work. If I don't, I'm gonna just follow the tutorials and see how they structure things, and I'm not gonna do the full project because I don't have time to figure this out. I have to do the other stuff. So see you then.